Good Saturday morning. Welcome to another edition of Shelbyville Now Sports Talk Live. I have with me this morning Mr. Bill Anderson and Mr. Kenny Parker, and we've got one missing today, but that chair might be filled a little later. I thought I understand.
I got a line out in the lake trying to pull in a sucker. So,
but Dr. Garrett, we miss you this morning. Hope you're watching out there. If you're tuned in with us right now, send us a hello. Send us your input, questions, comments. We want to keep up with what you guys are thinking these days.
Enjoyed that last week. We had a couple of questions. That's good.
Yeah, we did. Well, let's talk some high school basketball. I know our Cascade boys are still playing good, and our community. What do we call them? Lady Vikings, Lady Vikings, or is it Vikings? Well. Okay, they're doing well. I know. I've been following them. Dan Reed's always posting something on. They're having a good year.
Mm-hmm.
And our web teams, the ladies are ranked?
They're pretty good. Top. They're pretty good.
Yeah. So
I was listening to a radio show this morning, and the Webb girls are the number one mid-state small team. They're ranked number one mid-state small team, and the Cascade boys are ranked number 4 mid-state small team. But the team they'll have to play in the region, East Nashville's ranked number 1, and they can play with anybody.
Yeah. So you went to a Cascade game last night?
I went and watched Cascade Fayetteville City last night, and that was a close ball game all the way. Cascade pulled it off at the end, hit a little jump shot with they trailed by 6. They trailed at halftime. They trailed going into the fourth quarter, but they trailed by 6 with about 2 minutes left to go in the game. Came back and tied it up, and then defensively forced a turnover, and Lucas Clanton hit a jump shot in the paint with about 5 seconds left to go, put them up 2, and Fayetteville City comes down the court, and the Gentry boys drew a charge foul with 1.4 seconds left to seal the deal for Cascade. Well, it was a really exciting ball game.
Yeah, sounds like it. And what they're like 15-4, 16-4 now. So they're having a great year. And Fayetteville City must have a pretty good ball team.
Fayetteville City's athletic.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you another thing. They're not just athletic. They shot the ball well. I bet they hit 8, 10 3-pointers. I mean, they shot the ball well. And athletic on top of that.
Miss Helen Raby says hello, guys.
Miss Helen.
Hey, Miss Helen.
Thanks for watching, Miss Helen. So we've got Cascade doing well. The central teams, both the girls and the boys, have slipped a little bit the last week or so. They were 6-9. What they lost? The girls have lost
6-11. Yeah, they lost to Moore County last night, 57-17.
I think they're home both nights this week. I believe they're home Tuesday and Friday. So
let's go out there and check them out.
I'm going to try to get out there, hopefully both of those games, because Cascade said they're not on home again until the 31st. So
when are they going to make up that Grundy County game?
I can't answer that. I don't know.
They'll have to make it up because
it's district. Game.
Yeah. So we've got community, beat Grundy County.
Yep, 65-35.
And they're now 16-5. The boys are struggling.
But they played Grundy County close last night, 64-57. That may be the best 1-19 basketball team in the state.
Well,
because Grundy's pretty good. That's the game that Cascade and they were talking about in the district. It's really? Grundy and Cascade in the district.
Yeah, when you have games that close, there's just a few plays up and down the court that can make a difference.
Exactly. You don't know if it's the first quarter or the second quarter.
Exactly. Whenever it is, that missed free throw, that ball thrown out of bounds, or that intercepted pass.
When you have a close game like that, everybody talks about, what happened at the end, what happened at the end. Hey, them things at the beginning of the game,
right.
You don't forget them.
Yep.
And the Webb boys had a good upset win over BGA last night. Congratulations to them, 64-51. Webb upset BGA. BGA 16-7, Webb's 11-10.
Okay. Well, good job
on Webb. For Webb boys.
So Webb go up over 500 now. Some of these teams are going to come on strong and do good in the tournaments.
Yep.
That's when it counts.
It's the only time it counts.
Yeah, that's when it matters the most. But get out and support our high school basketball teams. Yes. They work hard at it, And even though they might not have a lot of wins, they're laying it out there on the court every night they play. So go and cheer them on. And we congratulate those that have had good seasons so far. And as they start cranking into this time of the year, these district schedules start tightening their races up, and then they line up for these tournaments. And we want to get out and give them our support. And you got some information on the Lady Raiders in Murfreesboro.
They're won 13 in a row. I don't think people realize that.
Wow.
Coach Insell's really got it rolling over there right now. 13 in a row, and they're winning big. And I think if you look at the AP top 25, Middle's at 26 right now.
Right
so
there,
they're fixing to pop into the top.
Well, they not just got one in, so they got two in.
They have
coaching
two.
That in.
Yeah,
and they got Louisiana Tech. If you'll remember, and Murfreesboro today. I think 1 o'clock.
Louisiana Tech. That used to be
a big deal.
That sure did.
Mm-hmm. Well, so how are the Lady Vols doing this year? I hadn't been following them.
They're 15-6.
They're better.
They went through a rough spell before they got in the conference, but now if they've gotten the conference, I believe they're 5-1 or something like that.
The men are still playing good. That loss to Kentucky killed me.
Baffling.
Yeah, I know.
It showed
everybody. What it showed is everybody was excited for that when they knew it was going to happen, and you still got to play the game.
Yeah, on paper, you might write that down as a W, but
still got to play the game.
It's the problem that you've seen the Tennessee teams have in the past, and it comes tournament time. They get cold and guard play, and when you don't have guard play in that tournament, it gets to you.
Yeah.
But the stretches where they can't score seems to be the biggest, most frustrating thing about Tennessee is they'll go through a stretch of 5 minutes and can't score a basket.
Yeah.
And they've been doing, and that's been a pattern for a while now.
Yeah.
Now, when they're shooting well, they're as good as anybody in the country.
Well, I think the big story on MTSU is the consistency that Coach Insell's had over years. You look back, it's just.
Hey, listen, when he went there, when he left the program at Shelbyville, and what we all know what he did here, and they're going to high school, and people wrote him out. He's a winner.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's a winner. He knows what he's doing. He's a winner.
Yeah, this may be one of his better teams in the last 5, 6, 7 years. So really? this team may get in the tournament and win a game or two.
Well, that's good. That's good. Well, congratulations, Coach Insell. We're going to keep our eyes on you over there.
I think people be surprised how many people from Shelbyville still drive over
yeah.
There's our crowd goes over there.
Absolutely, they do. But college basketball is going to get more and more exciting the closer we get to this March Madness stuff. So
I agree.
We'll start talking more about it as things start shaping up. But the UT Vols are looking good. They're
ranked number 9. They dropped from 5 to 9, but they play LSU today at 3 o'clock.
Okay, so we'll keep our eyes on that. Now let's shift gears and start talking about NFL. That's what everybody wants to know, how we did on our picking last week. We were all losers, guys. Nobody got them all right.
Well, I mean, that's tough.
Yeah, it's tough. And I picked the Chargers, and they laid an egg.
Well, they did in the first half.
I know,
27-0.
but 4 turnovers. 4 turnovers for Jacksonville. 4 interceptions.
But you're up 27-0, okay? Your running back gets 6 carries the rest of the football game with you up 27-0.
Yeah.
Like I said, that's not a Coach Parker type football right there.
No, it's not.
But Mr. Eckler got 6 carries after you're ahead 27-0.
Yeah, you try to see how fast that clock will run.
Well,
because they played right into Jacksonville's hands with that. They really did.
Cincinnati lines up to play Buffalo now. I don't think we had any doubts that those two were going to happen, but Miami made it. They made it interesting.
Tell you what, Miami about messed my whole bracket up because I got Buffalo going to win it all, and they almost didn't get out of Miami.
There again, Buffalo's up 17-0. They score a touchdown, had it called back on a play, or that game's 24-0.
Yeah.
But the thing was that Skylar Thompson, a third string quarterback.
Yeah.
Miami, that's a really good ball game.
It was a good ball game.
All right, on the NFC side, we saw Dallas play a great game outside the kicking game. And I was talking to Kenny earlier, how he missed 4 extra points in one ball game. And I think the average for the whole season for the average kicker is missing 3 or 4 in that range. He did it all at one time.
Hey, we've all been there. He's a pro.
Yeah.
He's a pro.
There'll be another kicker active. He misses the first one this game.
I doubt if they'll go into the game unless that it's hard to. They only have just 48 kids players that they can dress at a game.
Yeah.
They can have 53, but game time it's got to be 48.
Right.
You don't want to use two
No,
of them
you
as
don't.
kickers.
No.
But
And actually, the kickers had a really good
Oh,
he's
yeah,
had a
he's
good
in
year.
it for the
We
game.
just
Yeah.
hey,
But
it's just
Why did we have to change that extra point rule to make it basically all the way out there? I've never liked that. Leave it the way it was.
You know why? To make it where you have to earn the point.
Yeah.
Because they said
They were
because
gimmies.
it was gimme.
Yeah. And
And
in a close game,
I
that's
don't know
4
that
points
Mhm.
gone.
I don't know that you had to move it back as far as they moved it back either, though.
Let's make it 50 yards.
Yeah, I mean,
Well, then you go for 2 every time.
well,
Maybe that's what they like.
But here's
Yeah.
the deal. It used to be everything was on the 3.
Right.
But now if you go for 2, they move it to the 2.
Right.
Right.
Or it's either the 15 or the 2.
Or you want to make it really interesting. Where are they kicking the extra point from? About 35 yards, isn't it?
Well,
On the
when
15.
it's on the 15, you
just
add
go
10, that's 25.
That's
And
35.
then
Seven.
7, that's 32.
All right, let's back it up, make it a 50-yard field goal, and give him 3. That'd be interesting. wouldn't
Leave the game alone.
it?
Yeah.
Okay,
Leave the game
all right.
alone.
I'm
I'm a
mad with
traditionalist.
that.
Leave the game alone.
All right, Bill. I agree with you. Deborah Brown, I'm waiting for Dallas Sunday. Well, let's talk about a little bit more about Dallas. Dak Prescott played a heck of a ball game, and his receivers stepped up, and they did well. How do you guys see them coming up against San Francisco?
I don't.
I don't either. I see a pattern I've noticed with Dallas. They play really well
Good,
one week,
Good, no, on and off.
and
on
the
and
next
off,
week,
on and off.
they lay their egg. Cross
And
country traveling to
They're
San
going
Francisco.
to San Francisco, and San Francisco right now with the quarterback that was the last pick in the draft is playing as good a ball as anybody.
And a healthy Dabo Swinney. No, what's his name?
no.
Debo
Debo Samuel.
Debo
Debo
Samuel. Why did I
Samuel.
say Dabo Swinney? Because he's on my mind.
Yeah,
All right, so
That defense for San
Hey,
Francisco's for
San
real,
Francisco's defense for real.
yeah, they are. They are.
can
for
play.
sure.
and they
So-
run the football. Whether it's McCaffrey or whoever they put in
Mhm.
there, they're going to run the ball. Kyle Shanahan has one of the best designed offenses for running the football
Hey,
everywhere he's ever been. He runs the football.
San Francisco's going to be a tough ticket
Yes.
All
for
right.
anybody. That's a tough ticket.
All right. Philadelphia, New York. You got the New York Giants, which I picked them to win last week. You've got Saquon Barkley he's had a pretty good year,
Mhm.
and he's coming on strong. And their quarterback, man, he is starting to come together.
Well, here's the thing, and going back into last week with the matchups, I don't know why I didn't look into more of this. You had Buffalo, Miami. You had Baltimore, Cincinnati. You had San Francisco, Seattle. All interdivision.
Third time
They
I
played
know
each
it.
other. Now this is Philadelphia Giants. Third time they played
Yeah.
each other. You know each other pretty good.
Yeah.
Now, Philadelphia hadn't had to play a meaningful game in a
For
while.
Mhm.
Hurts hadn't played a whole lot in a while. They may be a little slow coming out of the gate. I think the coach for the Giants is doing a heck of a good job.
I do too. He's why Josh Allen in Buffalo. Brian Daboll can coach.
Yeah.
He's
And he's gotten all he can
But-
get out of Daniel Jones. But let me say this. When you're playing the Minnesota Vikings defense, you can put up 31 and look
Mhm.
good. Dallas put 40
Yeah.
up on them. The Philadelphia Eagles play great defense.
yeah. I just don't see
I think
him
the
being-
roster's way deeper.
But the
for
one we
Philadelphia.
didn't talk about, we sort of jumped over. I'm sure we'll go back to it. Is the Buffalo Cincy game, but it's going to be a real ball game. It's
Yeah.
hard to win in Philly, especially when them fans are them dirty bird fans. I don't care what you call them. They dirty bird fans
Yeah,
up there
yeah.
in Philadelphia.
They are.
And they hungry for it. He's got a good offensive line as anybody does in football. They're pretty good. They're going to be
Dr. Garrett wants to interject here. She is watching
Okay.
online. Hello, Dr.
Hey,
Garrett.
girl.
She's asking about the brackets. Well,
We
Um,
threw hers away. She wasn't here. If
well-
it's a no show, George Jones bracket there, huh?
we had her. She ended up 5-1.
Uh huh.
I ended up 5-1, and you two guys ended up 4-2.
Correct.
So
Just like, hey, and I want you to. I used my
Crystal
ticket for the car wash. Look what it done to my hair.
Okay, all right, okay.
I see you didn't use yours.
I did not.
You
Mine was
didn't.
expired. yours wasn't.
Okay.
I went up there and they said expired.
Janice Dingler, Kansas City all the way. Let's go Chiefs. Let's talk about Kansas City for a minute. They've got Jacksonville today, and we've already talked a little bit about that.
Could be an upset.
You think it could be an
I think
upset
that could be an upset.
at Kansas City?
I think that could be an upset.
Okay, well, we're gonna come back and officially make
I
our picks.
picked Kansas City.
Yeah, I know.
But because it's hard to go against Mahomes. That dude is just a player.
And Kansas City's got a weapon here that they traded with the Giants for, and his name's Kadarius Toney. And that guy is electric with a football. He's a difference maker for Kansas City. He's had the hamstring issues, but he's a difference maker.
Somebody said, we were talking about this at the Cascade game last night, that Lawrence is not playing for Jacksonville today. Have you heard anything?
No. They just listed him as questionable.
They've done that
for all.
Yeah, because of
he's playing.
He'll be
he's playing.
Yeah.
But Arrowhead's a tough place to play.
Yeah. But how about
you get down 27-0 here, you're in trouble.
How about the poise of a two-year quarterback throwing 4 interceptions in the first half and then coming back and not getting down and just like kept on playing?
That's why I say I think they're going to be hard to beat.
Yeah.
Their coach has been there. He's won the big game before.
And
so
and
look where they've come, the improvement they've made since about week 4.
Yep.
And they just keep getting better and playing with confidence. They're going to be a hard.
Not only is he a good coach, but he is a good man too.
Wait till next year, because I don't think a lot of folks maybe out there even realize they made a great trade with Atlanta.
Yeah.
And they're bringing in Calvin Ridley to Jacksonville next year because he's suspended for the gambling. How good are they going to be next year when
they've got a couple of first round picks, I believe, also through some other trades.
They've only got one.
Well, I thought they had where they got rid of somebody and picked up one.
They just got one.
All right, so let's just talk about. Let's take this into Titan talk, because Jacksonville is obviously going to be our stiff competition for the next couple 3 years. The way they have built this team up and the way it looks they're going to continue. Let's talk about the hire that the Titans made for offensive coordinator. Now, Bill, you're our
general manager.
You mean general manager?
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
What did I say?
Absolutely.
We're going to talk about offensive coordinator too.
Absolute home run and ran Carthon.
All right,
home run.
Let's hope.
Yeah.
Well,
and it looks like
let's hope
the 49ers and the Seahawks, as we were talking before the show, do as good a job as anybody in the middle to the end of the draft.
Right.
They find starters there. And there's where Carthon had done with San Francisco. But in his press conference, he said something really great. He said, I've got to find talent, but if the talent doesn't match what the coach wants, I'm trying to build a team, not get talent. And that's exactly right. He's got to get the type player Mike Vrabel wants.
No doubt.
And I thought that was very key that he said that.
When what he is saying there on the pro level is what all the college coaches do. The college coaches don't always go out just to get the best talent. That talent has to fit their program, not only athletic wise, but locker room wise, off the field, all that. And I think that's what they've done at San Francisco. I mean, you look at what San Francisco's doing right now. We're talking about they could be making a run for it, and they're on their third quarterback.
Mr. Irrelevant,
they're on their third quarterback, and they've had some other guys.
How good does he look?
I know, man. He looks great.
So let's hope he can bring that to Tennessee. With him.
I mean, if we could get some of our first 2 or 3 picks to pan out good, let alone the last one. I mean, this kid he's got to be proud of that move right there, getting this kid.
You know,
30.
it's gonna be tough. The fan base at the first of the year and the fan base for the Titans at the end of the year, 2 totally different. And it's gonna take a little bit to get the fan base back.
We're talking about rosters, and I was looking back a couple weeks ago, and you looked at San Francisco's practice squad. Remember, Janoris Jenkins was a starting corner for us last year?
Yeah.
He's on the 49ers practice squad. So
really.
when you start breaking the rod, you're going, San Francisco's roster is so much deeper than ours.
Yeah.
Jenkins was starting for us, and he's on their practice squad. There was that list of names. I'm going, I know that guy, I know that guy, I know this guy. You look at our practice squad, and I'm like,
Who
what
was
is
it?
that?
Yeah. Let's talk about offensive coordinator now. Earlier in the week, I heard the name Greg Roman from the Ravens tossed out, and
He'd be a good hire.
he is a smash mouth type of guy. It's running game emphasis, and that would fit the Tennessee mentality.
Right.
So there's some NFL analysts or whatever you want to call these guys that think they know what's going to have predicted that Roman will end up at Nashville. What do you guys think? What are you hearing? What rumors?
My
have y'all
prediction
heard?
is going to be an in-house hire, and it's going to be the Mr. Kelly that was at Houston that was up there as a passing game coordinator this year. I don't know that. That's my guess because I don't know with Mr. Greg Roman. The thing is, phenomenal job he did with Lamar Jackson, and he did it out in San Francisco. If you will remember, with when they made them run the Super Bowl, Harbaugh, he was the offensive coordinator there.
Yeah.
But he always had running quarterbacks, and I'm not so sure is Tennessee wanting to have a running quarterback, or are they wanting to throw the ball more?
I think you've got to have somebody that knows how to come up with schemes to get receivers open.
Yeah.
Tennessee's going to run the ball.
Yeah.
Right.
Vrabel's going to run the ball.
Yep.
He knows how to do that. What Tennessee needs is somebody that's good in the passing game, that knows how to scheme-wise get receivers open. And it's out there. They do it. They're so smart with it because we're always talking, is it the player or is it the scheme? And in pro ball, it's so much harder to do that because they're so much more athletic. And we will all say the biggest problem with the Tennessee offense now
Receivers.
is we can't throw it.
Yeah.
We got receivers, and there's ways that you can use picks and rubs and this and screens and deceptions to get people open. You don't have to always throw it. But my thing is Tennessee has got to have somebody that can run the field and even leaving.
Yeah.
So they can one hit over the top of somebody to make them have to play a deep safety back in a corner
Open it up
to open it up. So when you got Henry in there, you ain't got 8 or 9 in the box right there to try to stop it.
Yeah.
If you got somebody out there on the sides that can go vertical and
you look at the Andy Reid tree, he's great at scheming.
Yeah, he is.
Well, Peterson came from Andy Reid. If you want to go back, that's
but
who.
But you
Peterson
look at
was.
what
They
Andy,
both scheme well.
Andy Reid, what they've always got. Miami's got it. Speed.
Yes, like Vrabel, and he talks about that in his post conference at the end of the year that we don't have enough speed.
Speed.
Yeah,
you got to have it.
You got to have it.
Got to.
You got to have it.
So
Now, speed does not necessarily mean you go into the NFL Combine and you're sitting there watching the guy running shorts and he runs a 4.3.
Yeah,
and you think that's speed.
No.
It's the speed in pads, and does it translate to the football field?
That's right.
That's right.
If you notice, and it gets to the scheme too, but if you notice specifically right in the middle of the year, it seemed like our receivers were getting no separation anywhere. It was just like they were locked down.
Well, you go back to talking about not having speed, not this and that. Go back and look at what Tom Brady and Belichick did with the Packers. I mean, with the Patriots, where they had those little shifty guys.
Oh yeah,
and knew how to get open, catch a ball, and move the chains.
They were running right across his face
and move the chains. That's what I'm talking about. Scheme. You got to have somebody that knows how to do some of that. And then when you put the speed aspect of it, and they can catch it and take off another 20, 30 yards, or probably leave it. I think they got to find somebody. Where it is, I don't know. I want to go back to the Cincy Buffalo game whenever we get a chance.
Well, we're going to do our picks right now.
Okay.
Let's do that.
All
Dr.
right.
Garrett, if you're still watching, I'd like to know what your picks are. If you can type them in. We've got Kansas City, Jacksonville, Cincinnati, Buffalo, New York, Philadelphia, Dallas, and San Francisco. If you want to put your picks in, we will put you down and keep you rolling in this little contest we have because you're doing good so far. And I'm afraid you might whip us. But anyway, if you're watching –
just let her know if she wins this one. It's the Alabama Cup.
It's Alabama Cup. All right. So Kansas City, Jacksonville. Kenny, who are you picking in that one?
Come on, do it. Take the upset. Take it.
Jacksonville.
All right, now we're talking.
All right, KP is taking Jacksonville.
I'm going Kansas City Chiefs,
talked
double
right.
digits.
Double digits.
Double
Y'all a
digits.
bunch of
I'm
homers.
telling you, I think that Jackson.
Golly.
If the roster's better in Kansas City, it's in Arrowhead. Mahomes is going to throw 3 or 4 touchdowns.
We know Dr. Garrett's going KC because
Yeah, she just popped in KC. All right, so we've got us 3 against Kenny on this one. I'm taking Kansas City. Bill is taking Kansas City, and Dr. G is taking Kansas City. All right, Cincinnati, Buffalo. Man, I like this matchup.
Hey, let's go. 3 weeks ago, these 2 teams played. Didn't get to finish a game.
Yeah.
It was at Cincinnati. This time it's at Buffalo.
Yeah.
Going to be a lot of motion come back in this game.
Yeah, they are. Both sides.
Both sides. I believe it's 2:00 today.
Yeah.
Sunday. Today's Kansas City,
Yeah.
Jacksonville.
Okay,
Tomorrow.
so it's
Tomorrow.
tomorrow. Be a lot of motion in this game.
Yes, there will.
Both sides. Going to be a hard game pick.
Well,
Hard game pick.
I'll
But
go first. I'm going to pick Buffalo.
I'm picking Buffalo.
I'm taking Cincinnati and Joe Burrow. 2 things I don't like. One, Josh Allen's turned the football over too many times for me in the last few weeks. Even
Only
that
reason
Miami
he's
game
doing that
kept him
is
in it.
to make you frisky.
Oh, Dr. G, she comes in with Bengals all the way.
Bengals. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
All right, so
I feel good about that one
Yeah.
now that I'm with Dr. Garrett.
I just feel like that this matchup being at Buffalo, like you're saying, the last time it was in Cincinnati, didn't get to finish the game. The emotion of what they did, what they went through, the Buffalo team thought they'd lost a teammate. That's where they were.
Mhm.
I think that there's something there now. After they've got last week under their belt, I think they're saying, let's go win this guy. Let's win. And I think there's an extra bit of kick to their step.
I am concerned about the offensive line injuries Cincinnati has. They got a couple of guys out could really hurt against this defense. The difference to me, though, Buffalo doesn't commit to running the football. Back to the old Kenny Parker way. If you watch Cincinnati, for all that they're doing is in terms of having Jamar Chase and T. Higgins and the Boyd kid at receiver, they still run the football or attempt to run the football with Joe Mixon and also throw it to the running back. And I think that may be the difference here today. And like Kenny was alluding to, the Baltimore game, the Bengals didn't look good, but it was a division opponent. They knew you really well. Baltimore can play pretty good defense. A lot of times those division games are tight. I like Joe Burrow a lot.
I like
think
him too.
Joe Burrow is pretty doggone
I'm telling you
good.
what, the cocky guy can back it up. And that's what makes him good. He can back it up. He's a player.
He makes all the throws.
He's a player.
And I think Cincinnati's defense is underrated. I think they're a lot better on defense.
They are
folks.
good.
They're underrated
good,
on defense.
All right. Let's see. So we've got Dr. G and Bill Anderson taking Cincinnati. Kenny and I are taking Buffalo. Let's go Dallas, San Francisco. Let's start with you, Bill.
I see Dak not playing well. I see San Francisco San Francisco's going to win the game, and I don't think it's going to be that close because I think Dallas plays really well one week, and then they fall off the cliff the next. And I think the coaching is superior in San Francisco. I also think the overall roster is better for the 49ers.
Yeah, but the 49ers just lost a big part of their team to Titans.
Yeah, they did.
They did.
Dr. G is saying San Francisco. I'm taking San Francisco. Kenny Parker.
Growing up a Dallas Cowboy fan when I was a kid, one of the worst moments I ever had, the maddest I ever got, was when Clark caught the pass. But I'm taking San Francisco.
So that's 4 of us. San Francisco over Dallas.
So Dallas wins.
Yeah.
You think?
Dallas wins.
It's San Francisco on that one. All right. Philadelphia, New York. New York going into Philadelphia. We were talking about this earlier. Kenny, I'll start with you on that one.
It's going to be a tough game. Golly. Again, a divisional rival. Seen each other, know each other. I think Philly's I think this is their year. They'll start out slow and maybe, I think, pull it off there toward the end.
The 2 best constructed rosters in pro football, top to bottom, offense and defense. is Philadelphia and San Francisco,
Yeah.
in my opinion. Talking everything put together, I think Philadelphia's defense is really tough. That big kid, what's the kid's name from Georgia? That's a defensive tackle. You know what I'm talking about? It was our first round pick
Yeah,
this
the
year.
first-
Davis.
Yeah. Big old
That guy can play.
Yeah, he can play. I'm taking
Philly.
I'm taking Philly. Dr. G's taking Philly. So we're across the board
Giants win.
on
Because you got to give the Dayball guy ought to be coach of the year. What a
I'm
job
telling
he's
you,
doing.
He's done
Yeah, he's
well.
done. He's done an outstanding job because I know when we lined up to play them the first game of the year, I said, we're going to mop the floor with these guys. And they whipped their hind ends.
And then Green Bay in London thought they had them, and they just kept winning, finding a way.
Look at the Giants receivers and tell me who they really are. But talk about scheming and the way Dayball does scheme those guys open. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah,
he's very good.
Well, guys, it's going to be a fun weekend of football once again, and we've got our picks made. Anything else that's we need to talk about our coaches special thing?
Coaches for
Charlie
a cure.
Pope's deal, coaches for a cure.
That happened, and I missed it. We talked about it last week.
13th.
It was Tuesday night this last week.
Okay, yes.
At Cascade, and then when they played Chapel Hill,
Right.
And I believe it's the
31st at Central.
Coaches
for a cure.
Coaches for a cure. The spaghetti dinner before the game,
Right.
And proceeds go to scholarship funds where they're giving scholarships at both Cascade and Central High School in memory of Coach Pope's mom, who was a dear lady. She worked in the cafeteria.
Right.
What little time I got to know her at Cascade.
Right.
And, but that's what this is. Come out and eat spaghetti. I say that, and I missed it last week, but it'll be a good night.
This time of the year is to me is a transition time. You got football season ending. You're right in the middle of basketball, fixing to go into March Madness, and man, baseball's already starting to come
baseball
up.
And softball. We had our meetings the other night, and it's getting ready to start up. Middle school baseball and softball.
Yeah.
Within 3 weeks of throwing the first pitch.
I know. It's amazing. This time of the year is to me, it's just one of those. There's so much going on. But guys, thanks for sitting down with us, and guys, thanks for watching. Everybody, tune in and watch these exciting NFL games. Go support your local high school basketball teams that are playing now. And we'll be back again next week.
And we know Shelbyville's at home both games this week.
Right.
Cascade's on the road both games this week.
Right.
I'm not sure about Community, but get out there and watch them play.
Yeah.
Show them some support.
We'll try to go out there and catch Central and give them a little support. All right, guys. Thanks for watching, and we'll be back next